My name is Buddy Rubino. I'm a voice actor. I do voiceovers for radio, television, toys, video games, anything that I can be a part of, I try to be a part of. It's what I love, it's my passion, it's what I do. And I don't normally go on camera, I don't normally do video stuff, so this is going to be unedited. I'll try and be as concise and to the point and quick with this as I possibly can. I have a philosophy that's helped get me to where I am right now, and a philosophy that's helping to shape my future, and I want to tell you about it. I want to impart some positivity into the world. Now, my philosophy can be summed up in somebody else's book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Absolutely one of the best books ever written by one of the most brilliant people who ever lived. Seriously. And the idea is that our thoughts are things. Our thoughts are shaping our future. What we think matters. And oftentimes we go through life not being conscious of the fact that we're thinking, you know, and not being conscious of what's coming into our minds and what we're allowing ourselves to entertain in terms of thoughts, whether it be positive or negative. And that's what the story that I'm about to tell you is all about. It starts 7 years ago. I was working part-time as a DJ at a radio station. Awesome gig, awesome people, loved it. And there was this one guy who was in and out of the station all the time, flip-flops, jeans, t-shirts. He was like on his own schedule. I was like, does this guy even answer to anybody? I want his job. So I stop him one day. I'm like, hey man, what do you do? And he did production at the radio station. You know, he like produced commercials, in-house commercials for the people who purchase advertising. And but he said his main endeavor was voice acting, voiceovers. And I thought that was interesting because as a kid, I used to run around with a little tape recorder recording my voice all day long. I'd be out making characters, doing accents, all kinds of stuff, and I'd come home at the end of the day, listen back to it, and then come up with more ideas from that. So the fact that he was doing it professionally especially interested me. So he gave me some advice, he told me what to do, and 3 years went by before I heeded that advice. I'm working at a hotel 3 years later, doing something that I hate. It's not for me, it's not a job that's good for what I do. I was in a cubicle in front of a computer, printers, faxes, telephones, just, you know, it was madness, and I didn't like it. So on my lunch breaks, I'm going for walks around the lake, you know, to try and clear my thoughts out and figure out what in God's name am I going to do. At my desk, on my planner, at the top of it, I had written Buddy Rubino's escape plan. That's how serious I was about figuring something out. And up to that point, I had like 1 billion jobs in my life. And I was kind of at the end of my wits. You know, like, well, I've done everything on earth. What am I going to do with my life now? So it was tough. And in the spirit of an escape plan, even though there was absolutely no plan in place, I walk into my boss's office one day and I'm like, hey, here's my 2 weeks notice. I quit. I hate my job. And that is exactly what I said to her. And I don't know that that went over too well because I go in a week later and I'm fired. They're like, hey, how you doing? We'll see you later. We're letting you go early. I was like, okay, so I go into the exit interview and I'm just blank during the whole thing, you know, I'm answering questions and I'm in shock, I don't know what to think. But then I step out the door of the hotel and all of a sudden I had this feeling of complete liberation and freedom. Like I had just escaped from Alcatraz, like my escape plan worked, even though there was nothing in place at all. And for like 5 minutes, I was on cloud 9. It was complete bliss. I was just like, yes. The shackles have been removed. And then after that 5 minutes came the negative thoughts, one after another. I have no job. I don't know where I'm going to get money. I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. What am I going to do? And it was just one thought after another, and it was totally destroying my high. You know what I mean? So I don't know what it was, but I snapped out of it right then and there. I was only thinking those thoughts for a few minutes, and I snapped out of it. I was like, no. No, 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 no. This situation has created objective energy, okay? That energy isn't positive, it isn't negative. I have the choice to make it whatever I want it to be. So, maybe wanting to go back to that feeling of being on cloud 9, I was like, you know what? I'm going to think positively about this. I'm going to believe that today something amazing can happen. I'm going to believe it. And that's it. So, I jump in my car, I go home, get changed, and then the epiphany hit me. I'm going to be a voice actor. I'm going to do voiceovers for a living. And that is that. And I kid you not, that is exactly what I said to myself. So I look up a studio, I get the address, and then I go. I don't call them because I'm not interested in being told anything over the phone. I don't want to be told no or come back next week, or I don't want to be told any of that. I want to go to the place, so I do. I go in, see the girl at the front desk, look her right in the eyes, and I said, I can do this. I swear to God, give me one chance, one opportunity. I won't let you down. I know I can do this. And she believed me because I had like the courage and the conviction and the right amount of confidence and probably a vast amount of stupidity, you know, because sometimes you've got to be stupid enough to believe that you can do whatever is in your heart. You have to be stupid sometimes. So anyway, she calls in the talent director. He comes in, we have a conversation, and he asks me to come back at 4:30 that day. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll come back at 4:30. I don't have anything else to do, you know? So I didn't realize it at the time, but that was a miracle in and of itself, okay? Because a busy studio that's doing stuff, producing commercials, working with talent that work on a regular basis, these producers, these engineers, they've got stuff to do. Everybody's got a job, and they're very busy. So I come in off the street, an unknown, potential talent, with nothing to show for, no demo, no nothing. Normally, in that kind of situation, a talent like that would be put at the bottom of the priority list, okay? Like, we'll call you in a few weeks, we'll call you in a couple of months for an audition, but that wasn't what happened. It was the right place, it was the right time, and I was in the right frame of mind. So, I come back at 4:30 p.m., I get into the booth, I put on my headphones, I get behind the microphone, I've got scripts in front of me, and the moment that I read the first line from the first script, I was gone. I was lost completely in the moment. Gone. And then I thought to myself, I was like, oh my God. Like 5 hours ago, I was standing outside of that hotel, fired from my job, twiddling my thumbs for a few minutes, like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And then 5 hours later, here I am in this studio doing voiceovers. Like, what? So then the producer, after we finished the scripts, he says, buddy, you were meant for this. This is for you. And I was in heaven. I couldn't believe it. It was exactly what I wanted to hear. And ever since that June 6th, 2008 day, I've been doing voiceovers full time. I have had the privilege and honor to have voiced hundreds of television and radio commercials. I have had the privilege and honor of voicing some of Hasbro's greatest toys, like Bop It, Twist It, Pull It, Shout It. That's my voice on the toy. Bop It XT, Bop It for the iPhone 4, Bop It for the Nintendo Wii, and a few other projects that I can't mention just yet that I'm very excited to have been a part of. And how did this happen? How did it come to this? How? It goes back to that moment. It goes back to that moment outside of that hotel when I had a choice. I had a choice to decide what I was going to think of my circumstances. And I guess maybe just out of sheer ignorance and stupidity, I made the right choice. I said, okay, I'm going to make the best of this. I'm going to make the best. I'm not going to go home and whine and complain and tell all my friends about how unfair the world is and how unfair it is that I got fired. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be stupid enough to believe that something good can happen today. And you have to be stupid enough to believe that something good can happen today, right now. Forget about yesterday. Forget about tomorrow. We don't have either one of those. All we have is right now. And if you're in a negative situation, a set of negative circumstances, believe. Believe right now that today something amazing can happen. And believe it with all of your heart. Okay? Our minds are easily the most powerful instruments in all of the known universe. We're shaping our reality with our minds, with our thoughts, and that's why we have to be very careful about what we do think. Now, in this particular situation, I'm going to tell you why I'm even making this video to begin with. I had, like, maybe one of the worst weeks of my entire life last week. It was horrible. Emotionally challenging like you would not believe. But then I realized, you know what? I'm back in the situation where I have a choice again. I can make the worst of this or the best of this. It's my choice. I can be depressed, feel sorry for myself, and seek pity, and you know what I mean? I can do that. I can go down that very dark and sad and lonely road. Or I can do something good with this energy. I can share with the world this philosophy that has helped change and shape my life in a wonderful, wonderful way. And I can maybe help change somebody else's life, change your life. If I just change one person's life, amen, I'm cool with that. And that's what it's all about. And this time, in doing something positive with that energy, I'm trying to bring people with me. I want to bring someone with me. So in that spirit, I'm going to make a series of videos on Think and Grow Rich. Chapter to chapter, thought to thought, just going through it. When I have a day where I've read a quote or had a conversation that was inspirational, something good and positive, I'm going to share it with you. That's my goal. That's what I want to do. Just like when that guy at the radio station shared voiceovers with me, and I sat on it for 3 years. It was a cool idea, and I sat on it for 3 whole years. I've been sitting on this idea for a very long time, and now the circumstances and situation, it's put me in a position to do something. It's inspired me to actually take action. So that's why I'm here. Now, real quick, Think and Grow Rich isn't just about like growing rich in money, okay? Because believe me, I'm not living high on the hog at all. But how much money I do or do not make doesn't matter. Okay, I'm doing what I love, and that in and of itself is invaluable. So thinking and growing rich is about growing rich in life, in passion, in heart, in thought, in ambition. I can go on and on and on. It's about just being a rich-minded individual. You dig? So, with that being said, I'll see you in the first video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I know it kind of drug on for a little while, but again, I'm not used to being in front of the camera, so anyways, I'll see you.